Today I will be answering a question in the form of a speech. The question is, do I, as an African American, believe in reparation? And if so, why or why not? And my answer to that is, the reparation for the suffrage of slavery will not be received by this individual. This means of justifying the demoralization of our ancestors is insulting. The mere audacity of our government to grant us reparation for an ongoing issue is offensive. We are still enslaved today. The last time I checked, the systematical oppression of the African American community is still very current. Primarily, the miseducation of our children, which generates a lack of understanding for the significance of our history, which engenders an air of ignorance concerning our true heritage as a people, and losing the sense of who we are, all by miseducating our youth in our schools today. This is an act of oppression. The disparities in healthcare access and utilities is a form of oppression. Research shows us that our nation's health has improved greatly in the last 2 decades. However, this research is not applied to the nation's racial and ethnic minority, who suffers an increasing disparities in the incidence of mortality and the burden of disease and adverse health outcomes compared with Caucasian Americans. From coronary heart disease to AIDS, we are dying in mass numbers because of this. Ladies and gentlemen, our journey from slavery to freedom is non-existent. We are still a race that is oppressed by a system designed to hold us back. True reparation is granting our kids with a proper education, one that enlightens them to the fact that the greatest act of dehumanization, otherwise known as slavery, does not define us as a race. Instead, that all evidence concerning the origin of the human race points to East Africa, and that the knowledge that is known to be rooted in Europe is actually established and mastered by our ancestors. True reparation is in the repairing of a judicial system that has imprisoned our men. True reparation begins by giving us the rights to control the government, especially in southern states where racism and segregation is being practiced today as we speak. True reparation is in the acknowledgement in the lives and bloodshed of our ancestors, acknowledging the scientific, engineering, and medical achievements made by our ancestors, by acknowledging Dr. Charles R. Drew for his initiating the first blood bank, Aaron Douglas, James Baldwin, and acknowledging the African Americans that have revolutionized the world as we know it today. True reparation is in stopping discrimination in the courtroom, in the boardrooms, in the classrooms, in Hollywood, and in the White House. Nonetheless, in the midst of this oppression, we have and still are progressing to greatness, achieving greatness, and succeeding greatly. Proof of this lives on through Spike Lee, Denzel Washington, Barack Obama, and Oprah Winfrey, to name a few, all of which have strived in the midst of oppression. No, our greatness will not be stifled by your oppression. In the words of Maya Angelou, and still I rise. How dare you ask me to prostitute my rights with reparation? Our ancestors didn't want your money. They wanted freedom. Rosa Parks didn't want your money. She wanted to be treated as an equal, not a Negro sitting in the back of the bus. Martin Luther King did not fight for reparation. He fought for a dream. Is the attempt a false attempt of our government trying to repair a problem that is still occurring today only patronizing to me, or does anyone else feel that way? If reparation, if anything, is an excuse to continue the oppression that we are facing every day, including today. So when you ask me if we deserve a reparation, my answer is this: we deserve that and so much more. The reparation is not enough, period.